I was shocked that this is something that the white bird would tell me, until the red bird informed me that Dad had to spend another week in the hospital. I'd have to suffer another week without my dad at home, but he wouldn't be driving home that day like he was supposed to. The news boiled down to, a lot of people are going to die today, but your dad won't. The way it was delivered is what worried me, and it only got worse. The next morning, the white bird told me that I would get a present in the mail, and I was pleased that the white bird's song was actually pleasant. The red bird, however, informed me that I wasn't the only thing that could hear their songs. I was perplexed, but I couldn't do anything about it. I can't converse with the birds, I can only listen. I wondered why that would be bad news. When I went to leave the house, I saw the present the white bird mentioned sitting right outside the front door. A small package poorly wrapped in hideous green and blue paper that was dotted with various snowflakes. I brought the gift inside and pulled the paper away from the box, sliding a knife through the tape that held it shut. I revealed the contents. I stood for a while looking at the snow-white feather that laid on the brown cardboard, a feather that held the light of the sun with a familiar grace. The day flew by. I could only think about the songs I heard in the morning, about what else was listening to the songs. I became so concerned that something was invading this moment that I thought made me special. These birds were mine, and no one else was supposed to listen to them. I wanted to get home. I wanted to sleep so I could try to get more information from their songs. With the help of a few sleeping pills, I was able to get to bed earlier than usual. My dreams were vivid. In the dream, I was on the peak of an isolated mountain, and the birds were just standing there. They were accompanied by some sort of faceless human apprentice. Something about my appearance with them made me feel safe. I walked up to one of them, where as soon as I touched their soft feathers, I woke up. Immediately, I turned to the bird sitting on the window as the white bird began to sing. It told me that I was going to live to see another morning, and the red bird informed me that it was getting closer. I got up from my bed and started walking towards the window, but as I approached, the birds took off and vanished from my view. I stood and watched out of my window. The world was unmoving, like nothing wanted to earn my ire. Looking down at the windowsill, I observed something I had never noticed before. The tips of my fingers ran over the small grooves that had been etched into the snowy floor, where they stood when they took off and landed every day. I knew then that they weren't just something from my head. The birds are tangible, but other people just don't see them. Foolishly, I had forgotten that the news the birds deliver to me is based on my state of mind and what's relevant to me. So as I continued to stress over what the red bird was referring to, they continued to sing about it. The white bird was right. I'd live to see another morning, several in fact. Another few days went by and now here I am. In the past few days, the songs went something like this. The white bird sang that I wouldn't have to water the garden, which was true. The slushy snow that day did it for me. The red bird told me that it was going to find me that day. I don't know if that played out, but the red bird was no liar. The next day, the white bird told me that my dad was going to call. He did. He told me how proud of me he was and that he hopes he gets well enough to come home soon. The red bird sang to me, while I was fidgeting with the feather that had been delivered to me, that I was going to forget to lock the back door, which I regrettably did. When I left the room after those songs, I walked downstairs to find tracks of snow all through the house leading to my door. I couldn't decide on what the tracks were. They didn't look like anything a human could leave behind, but the path it took didn't seem like an animal. It ignored the garbage, dirty dishes in the sink and the fridge, all things I assume a scavenger would be interested in. I couldn't figure out why it had stopped at my door.